Again, my name is Gabe Zollner. Today's Saturday, the 13th of July, 2013, and a lot of Americans are sitting waiting to hear what the jury decides in the Zimmerman-Martin trial. Last night I watched Hannity, and Hannity had a number of attorneys. I think they were all attorneys. Actually, they were all attorneys as guests, and they were debating the pros and the cons, guilt or not guilt. And one of the attorneys that I believe is from Florida turned to Hannity and he said, if I were to stand up and punch you, meaning Hannity, and we got into a fist fight, and then I felt that you were going to possibly kill me or give me bodily harm, I could shoot you. Now, if that's the law, which it apparently is, it didn't matter who was on top. It didn't matter who started the fight. Zimmerman did nothing wrong by doing what he did. He's perfectly legal and in his rights to follow someone, if that's what he did. What happened was unfortunate. The problem is that every state has different laws, and to me it's completely insane. You take Texas, for example. If a person has a carry permit in Texas, he has to keep the gun concealed. Now, if the person bends over and his shirt rises up or her shirt rises up and someone sees the weapon, well, that person's going to have a real problem because it's considered brandishing a weapon. Now, Arizona doesn't have that. You can walk around exposed. But if you were to pull out your gun in a shopping mall and wave it around, that again is brandishing a weapon. Every state has different laws, some more restrictive than others. People don't know which is right, which is wrong, what's legal, what's not legal. I did a video on this a little while ago. A gentleman was driving from Maine, moving to Texas, so he had a lot of his personal possessions in his vehicle. He was tired. He pulled over behind a building in New Jersey. The police went over to investigate the parked vehicle, and as they were talking to him, one of the officers noticed a gun case. Well, he was arrested, and he's going to be sent to prison. Why? Because New Jersey has a law. You can't have a weapon in a vehicle that you have access to that weapon. Now, if that weapon would have been in the trunk, because it was a legally registered weapon, if that weapon would have been in the trunk, we wouldn't be having this conversation. He wouldn't be in jail. But the fact is that he was in a van. There was no trunk. And this is why it's ridiculous that every state has different laws. Aviation, I think, has a much better approach because the laws that apply for aviation apply in every state. There are no differences. You have minimums, you have maximums. The minimum fuel during the day to an alternate airport, the minimum fuel at night to an alternate airport. 30 minutes during the day, 45 minutes at night. That's in every state. Doesn't matter where you reside. It's very confusing when people do not understand what the law is. And as far as I'm concerned, this trial could have been done in one day. And the reason it could have been done in one day, the only thing that should have been presented is the law. And the law, again, for self-defense under the Castle Doctrine in Florida is explicitly clear. It doesn't matter who started the fight. If Zimmerman was in fear of imminent death or imminent bodily injury, he can use deadly force. End of story. Nothing else to discuss. It doesn't matter if he didn't obey or did obey the 911 operator. It doesn't matter. That's all that should have been discussed. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I told you what I think. What do you think?